like button. Come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in. Come on in. This is going to be a very important topic. I'm going to put a title to this video, and I want you to share this video. A lot of, and I'm going to say before I even start this video is for entertainment purposes. But when I say use discernment, if you have the eyes to see and the ears to hear. So I want to talk about, there is a video that I wanted to do a while back on the Miss America pageant. Okay. Um, and the reason why I didn't do the video at the time is because I was waiting for the right time to do this video. Okay. So a lot of the people that we see in pageants, right, that are famous models today that we know of, like Naomi Campbell. There was another one before her that was from Africa. I can't remember her name. Um, if anybody knows her name, comment her, put her name below. She was from Africa too. She was very dark. Um, a lot of models that we're seeing, and this is not even just models. This is also um, celebrity singers, um, people in the industry that we think that are who they like. They're showing up as feminine, and they're not feminine. Even in the people that are in the Olympics, okay, are not um, masculine. I mean, not feminine, they're born masculine. Okay. So I'm gonna start naming some names. Okay. So we already know Michelle Obama is not Michelle Obama. Okay. If you don't know, now you know. If you're new to my channel, I've been talking about this for years. If you go back, since I started my YouTube channel, okay. Um, and then she's not the first transgender in the White House. Okay. George Bush's wife was also a man. Um, we have a lot of famous models. Half the models that we see, like Miss Universe, who else? A lot of these models that we see, um, they're not born females, they're born males. Okay. And it's interesting because we try to, a lot of people in society look up to these models. They want to be like these models. And these models are not even women, they are men, okay, that had transgendered, has changed over. Some of them may have not changed over their gentle part, down there, but a lot of them are born masculine, okay, and they look feminine, okay. And I remember I did a video and I said that the reason why they're pushing the transgender um, agenda. Okay. Um, thank you, Gabby. So a lot of these people are not okay. So I'm gonna start naming names. Okay. So like we have Naomi Campbell, of course. She was not born a female. Okay. The one that came before her from Africa, she was not born a female. We have Sierra, the singer Sierra. She was not born a female, she was born a masculine. Okay. Who else? There's so many of them. I mean, I just can go on. Serena Williams was not born a female. She was born a masculine. Um, but they're trying out for sports like Serena Williams. Um, they're trying out for sports for that are women dominated, but there are men actually playing the sports. Okay, I don't even know how this is even happening. Even the pageants, they're born men. Like the one we just seen where she just got out of the pageant, she is born a man. Okay, um, and it was going to get out. That's why she was drawn from the pageant. Okay. Um, the people that own the Miss America pageant, it's a guy from Mexico and a transgender uh woman. She's Asian. Okay. And she was born a man, but she is a woman. Okay. So they own the Miss America pageant. Okay. So how does somebody in Mexico and an Asian woman own the Miss America pageant? Okay. So they just sold the pageant out, okay, to the highest bidder. So a lot of these people that we're seeing, Sierra, um, who else is it? I had a whole bunch of pictures. I'm gonna put the pictures up in my community page. Um, so we have Sierra, um, the Tegan girl. She's a man. Okay, they're all born men. Okay, now some of them do have or are born, and none of the people that I'm saying are born female and male. Okay, um, there's a deity that they even in the Hindu, okay, is half man and half female. But some people are born with female and masculine parts, but that's very few. Okay. But we have Sierra, we have Michelle Obama. That's why she wrote Becoming, okay? Because she was becoming a woman, okay? So her kids are really so the thing is they can't she if they're men, they can't carry children, even if they're transgender. So they have surrogates that carry their children. So Sierra has surrogates that carry her children, and they say they don't want to do it because they don't want to mess up their body. No, it's not because they don't want to mess up their body. It's because they cannot have children. That's why they don't like us because we can have children, okay? We embody the feminine, okay? We are the feminine, okay? We are the feminine. We walk in the feminine. We have periods. We have babies. I mean, and they can't do that. Um and it's interesting because Billy Carson, there's a guy named Billy Carson, and I seen his wife, and I'm like, you're gonna talk about relationships and you're with a male that looks like a female, a transgender, you got some fucking nerve, okay? Um, it's crazy, okay? So there is a lot of them out there, okay? Um, Serena Williams is one. Sierra is one. The Tegan, she's one, okay? There's so many of them. I mean, I can go on and on and on. And I was like, Michelle could not been the first transgender um in the White House, and she wasn't, okay? Bush's wife was born a man. See, these people are very sick, okay? They have certain religions that they follow, okay? Um, and then the men they get with, think about it. They get married to these men, right? And I'm not knocking anybody that's transgender, right? But we know, okay? So we have the eyes to see, okay? Past the physical. We can see the spiritual, okay? What you come in as, okay? So there's so many of them, you guys. I can go on and on. So a lot of famous models. There's another one, Cindy Crawford. Was not born a female. I have to laugh because people have idolized these models for so long, and they're not even females. Okay. They were born males. Okay. So you need to stop idolizing these models, okay? Because they're not even women, okay? They are men that have trans turn into women, okay? Um there's this I'm trying to think of that African model. She went with a famous magician. He was a famous singer. I can't remember his name. With blonde hair. She was from Africa. She was also born a boy. Okay. So it's interesting because you think about it and you're like, okay, all these women have had relationships with these men, right? And they weren't even born women. They were born men, okay? Transgender, okay? They had the surgery to change over. Um, and a lot of them have surrogates, okay? So a lot of their children are not their blood, okay? Um, there is another woman carrying these children, okay? A lot of us mothers out here that know as we carry our children, there's a bond you build with that child that you have, right? And it's like, how do you have this bond if you never carry this child? Okay. Um, and it's not your child. Okay. It's interesting because I look at Michelle Obama's children and I say to myself, I wonder who the surrogate mother was. They love boy moms. Yeah, they do love boy moms. And it's a lot of these men out here, okay, like a lot of these men that um are are gay and they like transgender women, okay? And they have surrogates carrying these children on the down low. Like they know like they got with a transgender person, okay? I have nothing against transgender, okay? Um yes, they love boy moms. So my thing is, how do these transgender women and the surrogates that carry these children, how can they build that bond like we can as mothers and we carry our babies for 9 months in our bellies, okay? They listen to our voice. You know what I mean? I just had a grandson, okay? And I was just thinking like it's so interesting, like the complexity of it. I'm not saying that a transgender person can't love on a child, but I'm just saying there's so many people out here that show up as a female, but it's really not a female. They're born a man or they're born a boy, okay? But they present themselves as a woman, okay? Then they sit there and talk to us about woman things, and you're not even a woman, you're a man. So how can you sit there and talk to me about being a woman? Because first of all, you ain't never get your period, you ain't never breastfeed, you ain't never went into labor, okay? There is somebody very famous that I'm gonna do a video on. I was reading her, okay, for quite some time. And the same thing, she's transgender, okay? It's gonna come out. Um, and she comes on her channel and she says, "Well, I'm born a female," and then she shows all these pictures, right? And she's not born a female. She was born a man, okay? She got a lot of people fooled out here, okay? I will do that video on her, um, because I think people need to know the truth, right? The truth will set you free. Not set you free is you won't idolize this false pretense of what beauty is supposed to be, okay? Because they get all this work done, okay? Because they want to be the us feminine, okay? I have nothing against transgender. If you're on my channel and you're transgender, I have nothing against you, okay? I just think that you need to be honest, especially if you're in the public eye, okay? And you have young girls looking to tell the truth. I was born a boy and I transitioned over to a woman or a girl. And a lot of times what they're doing is this is very interesting. This is why I say these people are born into occult families because they transition them very young. Okay. I just did a video, a real short video on Elon Musk. So his transition was very young. Okay. A lot of their transitions into um the sex changes, because think about it, all these people that these famous models, Jennifer, what is it, Cindy Crawford, Naomi Campbell, like they were born men. Okay, so women have idolized them, women have looked up to them, women were inspired by them, and they're not even women, okay? So a lot of this stuff is going to come out, okay? Mark my words, a lot of this stuff is going to come out. Um, and then they look down on the average woman out here because they're not a size 2 or a size 0, and then they got the young girls believing you have a lot of models that um have issues with food, okay, because they have to be a size 0, a size 2. And they're not even, majority of them that are getting into, I'm talking about high-end modeling, they're not even born a woman. They're born a man, a boy, okay? I remember when I did the read on the Idaho 4. I remember that read so vivid. You guys remember the Idaho 4, the 4 college kids that were brutally murdered, and I'm gonna say for entertainment purposes. Um, it's interesting because remember when I did the reading and I kept seeing Dylan Morrison, right? If some of you guys have been with me for a long time, and I said Dylan Morrison was born, um, Dylan Morrison was not a female, okay? She was a man. She was born a boy, okay? She's transitioned over. So she was born into a family. You are a daughter of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and Israelites scattered in. So, yeah. So a lot of them, so Dylan Morrison, the 4 college students that were murdered in Moscow, um, yeah, I think it was, yeah. I remember seeing Dylan and Bethany, and Bethany and Dylan were both born um, masculine. Okay, they transition, so they're born into these families. Okay, you got to understand, there's families out there that are born into occult families. Okay, and they have to transition their children at an early age for ritualistic reasons, okay? Um, I just seen a picture of, it came down my feed of, I think it's Will Smith's daughter, okay? It's interesting the energy I pick up on Will Smith's daughter. Also Will Smith's son, okay? Um, I have to do a video on Will Smith and Jada. I don't know where I'm getting at, but I'm getting it. Their ancestors are coming through. But there's a read I need to do on Will Smith and Jada Pickens, okay? Because it's going to be a deep read. But I would do that with shells, okay? Because one of their ancestors are coming through. about the two children, the boy and the girl. Okay. So a lot of these people, um, they have children and they have to transition them for rituals. Okay. Who else was that I seen? We got Serena Williams, Vanessa Williams, um, the Tegan girl, um, Sierra, the singer, the dancer, and we got so many other ones. Okay, there's so many of them. Cindy Crawford. I mean, and I kept looking at George Bush's wife. Okay, so Michelle Obama wasn't the first transgender in the White House. Okay, George Bush's wife. When I see her in the spiritual, in the physical, she's female, but in the spiritual, she's masculine. Okay. Now, we all have a masculine side and we all have a feminine side. But if you can see on the spiritual, you can actually see what somebody is born. Okay. If they are born female or if they are born male. Now, there is some that are born, and it's a short percent of them that are born with both sexes. Okay. There's not a lot of them. Somebody just message was held back. But I can go on and on. There is so many of them, you guys. I mean, so many of them. And then I look at the men that's in their lives, and I'm like, so majority of men out here, um, like 40, 50% of men out here, have to know that they're dealing with somebody that's transgender, because they are still going to have some part of them that even when they transgender into that feminine energy, they're still going to have that masculine energy. Okay. It doesn't matter how much surgery you have. And this is why I feel like there has to be an age where they're not so young to change their sex. And we're being, a lot of people are fooled because they can only see the physical, not the spiritual. Okay. Just like Dwayne Wade, he wants his boy to be a girl. These people are born in ritual families. Okay. And I was getting something with Will Smith's kids. Okay. So they perform rituals. Okay. Um, Even the kids see these rituals. Okay. Um, okay. So, is your boy wearing a thong? Yeah. And it's like, we're going to see more and more. Somebody says, even when you see a 6-year-old boy wearing a thong, we are going to see more and more of this. When I see Hollywood, right? Because I'm not even Hollywood, um, it's Solomon and Glora, right? But even outside, okay, they are going to push the agenda on our children, our grandchildren, okay? It's going to even get worse, okay, into the future, okay? I remember my grandson was just born. Cairo was just born. And it's interesting because I have three grand children. I have Josiah, Cairo, and Nyla. Right, Nyla was born a female. All their mother, okay, is female. Okay, she pushed them out. Okay, like me, I pushed all three of my children out. Okay, I no C-section. They came out my vagina. Okay. And it's interesting because the reason why they hate us so much is because we are the portal. Okay. We are the portal of life itself. Okay. The feminine energy is the portal of life. Okay. When we bring that child in, we're bringing them into this life. Okay. So the feminine body is the portal. Okay. And they know this. Okay. This is why they're trying to push this agenda in the schools, in the churches. How can you tell me that, and I'm going to go in the Catholic Church, okay? Because the Vatican is the devil himself, okay? How are you going to be a Christian, okay, or so-called Christian, and say, um, we're going to study this good old book, okay? But who wrote that good old book? And um, if you want to if you want to be transgender, if you want to be gay, I mean, you can love whoever you want to love. I don't care. Okay. Just saying. But I'm going to raise my children a certain way and teach my children um, a certain way. My oldest daughter, a lot of you guys that have been following me for a very long time, um, my oldest daughter is gay. She's liked the girl since she was young. I never stopped loving her because of that. Um, she was with her first love, and then, but she said she's always been that way. She's always been attracted to females. I was shocked because I didn't know that. I didn't raise my children up that way, but I still love her because she's my daughter. So I have nothing against gay people. I have nothing against transgenders. I That's my oldest daughter, Tatiana, and I love her to death. She's my stalker. But I love all my children. But I feel like we're going to see more and more of these children. This is why we have so many kids that are so lost. Even the kids that have so much money and so much fame, they're crying out for help, okay? Because they're born in these families and they think this is normal. And then when they finally realize the stuff they've been through is not normal at all, okay? Um, they are scared to talk about it, okay? Because they are born in ris- ritual families. Let's just say ritual families, okay? So these churches are going to say, oh, we're so in our faith, but then they're going to say, oh, then you can be with who you can, will marry men and men and women, you know? And I love my daughter to death. My oldest daughter. And when I first found out, I was shocked. Um, I was hurt because I didn't raise her like that, but she loved who she loved. So, I had to love both of them, and they've been together for a very long time. Um, but she has the same views that I have on certain things too, because when you go into the schools, they have, I guess it's unisex or whatever, or you can just go in the bathrooms. I mean, it's crazy. If you guys can homeschool your children because the educational system is not. It was written by, um, I'm gonna say it like this: people that wanted to keep us enslaved, mentally, spiritually, and physically. Okay, um, to go work every day. To have a slave mentality. So everything you learn in school, because the schools are not really teaching you anything that you can't learn from home. Okay, your home is where you first learn. Your parents are your first teachers. Okay, so if you can homeschool your kids, it's good. Okay, Um, yeah, somebody said even when you see, yeah, it's crazy. It's going to be more and more. Um, and I think some of these kids are being peer pressured um, into this new. It's always been like this, um, but it's going to get worse. Okay, because they are like in school, they're peer pressured and they want to fit in. Some of them are exploring their sexuality. But my thing is, when you look up to these famous people and you find out that they're really born a man and not a woman, and you try to, I remember when I was young, I was in modeling, and when I was in modeling when I was young, there was a lot of us that used to model, and I got out of modeling real early, and I think the reason why um, my mom got me out of modeling is because I was being blocked from what was to come if I would have stayed into modeling. I got a troll on my page. So we got a lot of females out here, celebrities, models. A lot of them that you see on Miss America, Miss Universe, they're actually men that are that transgender to women. And they're winning Miss America, Miss Universe. I mean, it's crazy. Okay. And the young girls are looking up to these models, and they're born men, boys. Okay. So this is why you gotta teach your children right. I have a troll on here, but I'm gonna bypass these trolls. You know, it's funny. I asked myself, if you don't like what I'm saying, why are you watching? Because I'm hitting some nerves out here. Okay? Just saying. But, anyways, like I was saying, so we have a lot of them out here. I screenshot a lot of their pictures. You're going to be shocked at some of them. I'm going to try to get them up tomorrow. There's so many of them. But Sierra is one of them. Serena Williams is one of them. And then this is for entertainment purposes. Michelle Obama is one of them. George Bush's wife is one of them. There's many more of them. There is a oh, I did read on the basketball player, the one that got caught in Russia. The reason why she was arrested in Russia was not because she was carrying some little old weed over there to Russia. Like Russians don't see weed. No, the reason why they caught her and arrested her is because she was they didn't know, but she started a relationship and they found out that she was a boy. Okay. That's why she was arrested and that's why she was held in Russia. So that was her fault why she was held in Russia because she she came in on the American team, okay, as an American player, and she got arrested at the airport because she had weed. No, they were waiting for her because they found out that she was born she was a boy, okay? She still is a boy. You can hear it in her voice. This is what I'm telling you. When they have the sex change, they can change some parts, but they're always going to be what they're born. Okay. They can change some of it because we all have a feminine and masculine, but that masculine is always going to be there. Okay. All right, you guys. This is Jennifer Felix. Thank you guys for joining me. Yes, they got boys working on TikTok. It's crazy, you guys. It is really crazy. Um, we are living in some weird times. Okay. If you think about it, we're living in they've been doing this forever. Okay. They've been doing this since slavery time. where they were bucking the slaves, okay? They also were doing this. The Greeks were known, okay, for being with little boys in the baths. They still have the baths, okay? These people still have baths, have these places, where they have the baths, and like little boys. I want to do a video on Justin Beaver, because I heard a song from him and I think it's called Jesus. Okay, so I'll be right back on. All right, you guys. Because that video, you have to watch his music video. So I'll be back on with Justin Bieber's psychic reading on his current energy. Okay. I was gonna pull shells, but I don't need to pull shells. I'm seeing what his current energy is. Okay. All right. Hit that like button, share this video, you guys. Stay grounded. See past the illusions, because a lot of things out here are illusions. Okay, you guys. All right. Bye.